Hello Balloon World, I'm Michael Floyd, your balloon twister, and this is my 100th balloon animal lesson. So I got you a gift. Actually, it's more of a gift wrapping. I'm going to show you how to wrap a gift out of balloons. Now this is advanced, so make sure you have plenty of balloons and a high popping threshold because they will pop on you, guaranteed. But I believe in you, you can do it. Let me show you how. To wrap your gift in balloons, you'll need a flat surface to work on. You'll need a box to wrap. You'll also need balloons. I prefer to use two colors. I'm going to be using light blue and dark blue. You can use more than two colors, I just like the way it looks. We're going to start with our first row, which will go around the bottom of the box. Get your 260 out and inflate it almost all the way. We only need 4 little twists, so you only need a little bit of a towel. Let some air out and tie. Make sure this is soft, so give it a squeeze and a stretch. Adjust your box so that you can put the balloon against it. You want the balloon to be sticking out about a finger's width past the edge of the box on both sides. So then twist it there. And you can see the reason for this is that edge right there, the balloon is a little bit wider than the box is. So it needs to stick out just that little tiny bit, as you can see there. So now we have one side. Let's do the same for the other side. You can squeeze it as you go to make sure it's soft. And you can see this part here fits nice and snugly. If it's actually that one's too big. I'm gonna need to resize that one. A little smaller. There we go. This is why it's difficult. All right, that's much tighter. Then we go around to the next side. Squeezing it so it's soft. If you had a choice of having it too big or too small, definitely go too big because you can't put it in if it's too small. All right, so we have a pretty good size there. So then we do the last side. And how does that look? We got a little bit of room there, but that's okay. We want just a little bit of space. That way we can pull it off the box easily and put it on easily. And if it's not perfect, no one will notice. So now you have these 4 sections. We're gonna take the knot on this side and twist it into the seam here. Twist it around, take the knot, pull it through, and do that again just to make sure it's not gonna come undone on you. Next, I'm gonna break off the balloon at the end. Let the air out slowly. Take it and tie a knot in it. And then I tied that knot around the first knot. So I can do that again to make sure it's not going to come undone on me. And then the rest of this I don't need, I can break it off. So here is our first row. And it should fit on the box really easy. It should be pretty snug, but not so snug that you can't get it on there or that it's fighting to get off. Next, we're going to attach the dark blue balloons that are going to run up vertically. Since our box has 4 corners, we'll need 4 of these and inflate them halfway. Woo! Bumped you. Now I have my 4 balloons, so I'm going to use them one at a time. I'm going to make a small bubble at the end. I'm going to grab the knot, fold it over, and pinch twist that bubble. Then I'm going to take that pinch twist and I'm going to put it right into one of these corners. I'm going to take it and wrap it around, keep it from coming undone on me. So there I have 1. Now I just have to do the other 3 sides. And now we have the framework to make the rest of our gift wrapping. Now we're ready for our second row, which I'm going to make the same color as the first row. Get another 260 out and inflate it almost all the way, leaving just that little bit of tail. Put some air out and tie. Once again, it's important that these are soft, so give it a squeeze and stretch. I'm going to start by twisting the knot here into one of the blue balloons. What I like to do is start with one of the smaller sides. I find it easier to control that way. So I'm going to adjust the box so you can see here. I'm going to twist just a small little bubble here. Get my hand through the middle. And that bubble there should be about half the diameter of the 260. Take that knot, wrap it into that seam there. Now I want this one here to be the same length as that one. What I like to do to make sure it's the same length is I'll twist another bubble. This bubble here should be the same size as this little bubble over here. This little bubble right there. And I will hold it against it, behind it, upright, so I can see exactly where it is. Then if I pinch that knot against the light blue balloon, I can twist the light blue balloon so I get a seam that'll fit pretty easily there. Can you see that seam right there? You twist that seam into that seam. This is why it's so difficult. All right, so we have the second row on this side. Now we rotate the box and work this balloon all the way around. If you didn't inflate this balloon long enough, you might not be able to reach all the way over to the last seam here. So make sure you inflate it almost all the way. So here I have my last seam. I'm gonna twist this seam here back into the first one with a knot. The rest of this I don't need, so I can pop off the end. Hold it down here, let the air out, and then tie a knot. I like to take that knot and wrap it around once, under and through, and then hide it inside the box so I don't see it anymore. And now we've completed our second row. This box is sort of small and flat. If it were taller, we'd need multiple middle rows, but since this is so small, we only need one middle row, which leads us to our top row, the row that goes on top of the box, or the ceiling of the box. For the top row, what I do is I twist a small bubble on each of the balloons that run vertically, same size as the little one down there, and then I twist a larger bubble, a full 1-inch bubble, and then I pinch twist that larger bubble. So you should have something that looks like that. And I do this on all corners. You'll notice because I put the pinch twist there, it's not going to come undone on me. The reason I need a pinch twist though is because we're changing directions. Instead of the balloon box going up, it's now going to be going across. So it'll meet in the center. Get another 260 and inflate it almost all the way. Let them out and tie. Squeeze and a stretch. Take that knot and wrap it into one of the pinch twists. And just like we did with the middle and the bottom row, we're going to work our way all the way around the box. Going from one pinch twist to the other, but making sure that the sections are about the same length. If they're not the same length, that's okay. But if you have to err on the side of caution, go just a little bit bigger. And now we have our 3 rows. We have our bottom row, our middle rows, and our top row. So now the really difficult part. What? The rest of the stuff wasn't the difficult part? No, this next part's the difficult part, but I'm glad you stuck with me, because we have to fill in that middle center piece. And to fill in that middle center piece, what I like to do is give the balloon a squeeze so it's nice and soft, twist off another one of those small bubbles, and another one of these pinch twists. So I have my small bubble and my pinch twist bubble, fold it over, pinch twist the pinch twist bubble, and you should have something that looks like that. It should look very familiar, very similar to what we did for the top row. Then we do it all the way around. So once you have your pinch twist on all 4 corners, what I like to do is I'll take that bubble and I'll put it to the inside, and there you can see it's working its way in. So next we have to make the inside bubble go from this pinch twist down to this pinch twist and connect all 4 of them in the same way that we did the outside. So get another 260 and inflate it almost all the way, but leave a little bit of a tail. Make sure you let air out so it's soft, and give it a squeeze and a stretch. We're going to wrap the knot here into one of those pinch twists, and we're going to work our way through all the pinch twists, trying to stick as close as we can to the perimeter of the box. But unlike the outside of the box, the top of the box, I like to do the long sections first because they're going to be more noticeable if they're the wrong length. You're probably noticing by now I'm not really giving you measurements. That's because I don't know what size box you're working with. It's going to take a lot of trial and error, but trust me, the finished product is worth it. But it might take you a couple tries. One thing you might notice is that if the section is too big, it'll start bowing up or down, and if it's too small, it'll start pulling in tight, leaving gaps. So definitely play with those dimensions. Find whatever works best for you. But I've twisted all the way to my last pinch twist. So I'm going to break this end off. I'm going to let the air out slowly, and I'm going to tie a knot in it, just like we did with the rest of it. Then I hide it on the inside where nobody ever looks. And there you can see it already starting to fill in. And we just keep doing this with gradually smaller sections. So get another balloon, let some air out, tie it, make sure it's inflated almost all the way, give it a squeeze and a stretch, and just keep working your way in. And just like we did with the first row going inside, we're going to do the same thing. Soft, small bubble, and pinch twist all the way around. And just like we did with the first row, we're going to take another 260 balloon and connect them all around in the inside. And there you can see it's getting to the point where I can't even really put in another row. There's not really much space there. So what I like to do is I'll twist 2 small bubbles on each side of the dark blue balloons, and I twist those together. And then I add 2 pinch twists there. So I twist 1 small bubble on one end, 1 small bubble on the other end. twist these two seams here together. Then together, I'm going to do a double pinch twist by folding them over together, pulling and pinching and twisting them all at once. And there I have my 2 pinch twists there. Do the same on the other side. Okay, now what I can do is I can make a small bubble, just enough to reach over to the other pinch twist. I don't need much. I'll just take a small section, twist it right over to there. Now all the rest of this I don't need, so I can pop it off. Make sure you leave yourself plenty of slack so you can tie knots in these. There's nothing worse than doing all this work and having it come undone on you, which has happened. All right, once you have them all broken off, tie the knots. You can actually tie 2 of them together to make a knot. Ooh. Then you hide all the knotty bits, and there we go. We've wrapped 1 box. How pretty does this look? You might notice that there's a few little gaps here and there, but that's okay. People are gonna be so impressed that you wrapped a box in balloons, they won't even notice. The only drawback to wrapping a present in balloons is that they tend to talk a lot more about the wrapping than they ever do the gift. Once again, this can take a lot of practice to master, but if you've mastered it, here's one more thing you can do to kick it up a notch. Get some 6-inch hearts in the right color and inflate them all the way. Tie them together. And you'll notice this looks like a bow. So I attach it into one side of the pinch twist, so it'll sit offside like that. See how pretty this looks? Well, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, click that thumbs up button. And if you aren't already, subscribe to my channel. I do balloon animal lessons every Monday. So if you don't want to miss a video, make sure you subscribe. I'm Untitled Chapter Balloon Twister. Remember, you can make anything out of balloons. You can even wrap a present.